Okay, Six Underground is the newest movie from Michael Bay, and is also the latest movie from Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who are the writers for movies like Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and the two Zombieland movies, as well as Life. So I was kind of excited to watch this movie, but also like skeptical because I really love these writers, but it's also Michael Bay. And that's not to say Michael Bay hasn't made some good movies in the past. Like, I really liked the first Transformers, but don't really like the rest. And I also like Bad Boys, at least the first one. And this one tells the story of this team of six people who are basically ghosts. Like, they're off the grid, and they try to take down this leader of Turkestan, I think it was. And that might sound cool, but like, it sounds great on paper, but in execution, it's not that great. And to me, I think this movie has some big problems. Like, there are some huge, like, flashback exposition scenes. There are some just, like, action scenes with no purpose just there. And there's just some weak characters. Ryan Reynolds, being the charismatic star that he is, didn't, like, carry this movie for me. And his character is just kind of, like, almost unlikable. And that goes for the whole team. Some of them are more likable than others, but by the end of the runtime, you're not going to remember any of these characters. It's the kind of like character where they're kind of just known for one thing, and that one thing is like the one thing you're supposed to go through this entire movie knowing. And that's all the characterization they have. It's just that one trait that's supposed to carry you through the movie. Now, with Michael Bay, his stories are like pretty like thin. They kind of just happen just for action scenes can happen, and that's no different in Six Underground. The plot is very simple. Like, it's just this team of six people trying to take down this one guy, and that's basically it. And then you just have some big giant action scenes in between. Like, every 10-15 minutes there's a big action scene. But with that, there's also like these 10 minutes of like flashbacks that just go on forever, and they just have some of like the most mind jarring like editing I've seen in a while. And I find like the flashbacks don't really help with the characters at all. Like, they kind of just, at the end of the day, they just kind of blend together, and the flashbacks really don't do anything. But when the flashbacks stop, like when it's all present day stuff, the movie flows a lot better than the first half. And the second half does flow better, but then when the ending hits, it kind of comes out of nowhere almost, and then you just kind of look at it like, oh, it's over, but like that's it. But I just want to focus on the action scenes really quick, because action scenes with Michael Bay can be good and it could be bad. But I think in this point it's the latter, because there really, like I said, there's no reason for the action, so you're just kind of watching it happen, and that's it. You're just watching all these people get slaughtered for no reason, almost. And when people die, they have this weird like ragdoll effect that looks really weird and kind of like unreal, but it also kind of looks satisfying for some reason. Like, it almost looks funny, but it's like so weird that it almost feels like a video game. And being a Michael Bay movie, you're gonna have giant explosions. Like, there are some like huge Michael Bay moments. Like, there are some cars that get like shredded in half. There are like people getting smacked over by cars, and like there's this guy on a Vespa and gets run over, and then he just like smacks around on two cars. Like, it's crazy, but it's like, what is happening? At the end of the day, you're not really gonna remember this movie. To be honest, like, it's not that great. I really expected more from these writers and some of the cast as well. They've seen them in much better stuff like Corey Hawkins and Trina Compton, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, obviously, and even Melanie Laurent in Now You See Me. So yeah, this movie just wasn't for me. Maybe you'll like it, but I'm gonna give Six Underground a 4.5 out of 10. There are some fun sequences, especially with a magnet towards the end. There are some lines that are funny, but again, most of them aren't. They're just kind of awkward, being Michael Bay jokes. Like there are just some weird ones. Like why, like in a situation like that, why would you say something like that? You know. And that's not to say movies like this are bad, but when you have characters that are just like unlikable and they almost feel like they don't want to be there themselves, you kind of pick up on that vibe, and you're like, if they don't care, why should I care? So yeah, this one's on Netflix right now. You guys can check it out for yourself if you want to, but I advise you don't, because like there's just a bunch of stuff that don't make sense, but you just kind of roll with it because that's the movie. But yeah, if you've seen it, let me know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.